This is probably the most colorful neighborhood that I've ever walked through.
Yeah, they get so many coats of paint on here. Look at the paint. There's like, it's like a tree. There's like rings on it, and there's like so many years worth of art.
Even the street signs are painted.
The street signs are like a dime a dozen here. Somebody will probably come and pick that up. They'll take it home and they'll turn it into a canvas and then sell it. This place is so overridden with art. I mean, like, it's on all the fences, it's on the walls.
This place was totally different. 2009 going forward, it just went crazy. It just became like a landslide of art.
I paint for Messi, Ronaldinho, like many others. This is my first mural here, so so far so good so far.
How long have you been documenting this neighborhood?
I've been coming down here for like about 20 years now.
This was a big furniture factory that was across the street. There was a ornamental iron place there. There was a shoe warehouse next to me. There was a used clothing place next to me on this side. So this is all crazy. In 2009, Art Basel started coming into the area and everything started changing.
What do you think this neighborhood will look like 5 years from now? Will any of these pieces that we see here now still be here?
Unlikely. You can come back like 3 months from now and a month from now.
It's all different.
Yeah. We're the last man standing. There's nobody else. There was one other shop around the corner and they're gone. Last year, they had to go. It just got too expensive.
Seems a story of this neighborhood is as much real estate as it is art. So we're in the middle of a construction site and living art gallery. I have been here in Miami for a couple days visiting different neighborhoods, and today we are in Wynwood with a local here named Tony. Tony, I'm gonna have you introduce yourself and then tell you why I was interested in checking out this neighborhood today.
Hey, what's up guys? Tony Ozegovich, aka The Real Miami Vice online. You can check it out through that way, see a lot of the history that we got going on here.
I have heard about the public art. Every block, and we'll walk through, is like a living museum, but also probably constantly changing. So I want to ask about, as we walk through the neighborhood, you know, what the changes that you've seen over the years. You're also a street photographer, so you've been documenting some of these changes. So come along, you all, with us as we walk through Wynwood.
We're about to walk up actually on one of the artists right now. He's still working on the wall. It's here at Toe Jam Backlot, the original gangster wall. It's pretty cool to actually catch it. We'll see the artists out. They'll be painting, doing graffiti, all the thing constantly. It's definitely one of the longest writing walls here. G-Wiz is the artist. You can see his tag right down there, G-Wiz Art, 2009, there you go.
So is this G-Wiz?
Yeah.
Good to meet you. My name's Chris. I'm making a video about the neighborhood.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Tony's walking us around. This is since 2009?
Well, I finished it in 2009, but in reality, I started painting it in, I think it was November of 2006. Then I worked on it in 2006, and then in 2007, like, I got into this, let's say, disagreement with the owner, because he didn't want to pay me what I painted for the wall. So I walked away from the wall for like almost 2 years, and then finally he like kept calling me in like 2008. He was like, come on man, we gotta finish the wall. I was like, all right, fine, I'll come back. And I came back and started working on it. But I had done Jack Nicholson and Marlon Brando's over here, and I think I had done the outline for Tony Montana. And then
you walked away from it.
And I walked away from it, and then for like a year I was like, you know, just like this guy kept calling me. I was like, all right, fine, I'll come back and I'll finish it. I came back, finished it in 2009 finally. Like,
but then what did back then in 2009, what did this neighborhood look like?
Oh, it was pretty much like 2009 was, you could say it was the early beginnings of Wynwood. Like there was already like there was a lot of interest in art already. There was a lot of interest in murals, but Wynwood walls came to this part of Wynwood in, I think, in 2009. So I think that's kind of like what spurred smaller shops opening up and more like name brands coming here and things like that. But yeah, I think in 2008, I mean in 2006, this place was totally different. Like there was nothing here. There was still murals, you know, people were still painting stuff. We had painted stuff over there where the RC Cola plant was, around the walls there. But it wasn't as intense as it was, I think, in 2009. And then 2009 going forward, it just went crazy. It just became like a landslide of art. It just, every Basel, just more and more artists came to do more stuff.
But it sounds like you're a legend of the neighborhood, and we just happened to bump into you here at this wall.
I'm trying to be humble.
Did you live in Wynwood or did you live in Miami?
No, I lived in Miami all my life, but I lived in like South Miami area, Westchester, that area around there. And then, you know, I would come here because I actually had a job here way back in like 1997. Print shop, like a t-shirt place that was like right down the street, right over there. And even my car got stolen from, like right from the window. I saw guys just get in my car and take off with it. You know, and I just remember thinking to myself, oh, that's great. Now I got to find another car, you know. But it's like, that's how Wynwood was back then. It was very, you know, like you had a lot of like businesses, like a lot of like fabricators and stuff, cabinet makers, you know, furniture. And then you had the clothing area, the little Puerto Rico over there. Yeah. That was all, you know, it was all like.
Right, this was a Puerto Rican neighborhood, right?
Yeah, this was all like all of the stuff that was here was basically like, it was like a Puerto Rican neighborhood. It was like, you know, like, it was, I think there was a lot more Puerto Ricans in this area concentrated, but it was like closer to like the 70s and 80s. And then in the 90s, they started leaving. And then by like the 2000s, that's it. Most of the, like, there's still like some businesses run by Puerto Ricans in that area over there down, you know. I forgot what street.
There's a few restaurants like right over that way still. Like I know that are like the pops that have been around.
Yeah, and I mean there's still a lot of Boricua blood here, but you know I think that it's just like the neighborhood has completely changed now. It's like, you know, it's become very gentrified, and you know, unfortunately, it's like for some people, like the homeless and things like that, they suffer more because I have a feeling that they're, you know, these places like the Willis House and the other like organizations, Salvation Army, they're eventually going to get forced out by the high rents prices. You know?
You like being in this neighborhood? I mean, obviously you've drawn an art scene here just from your own like work on this first wall.
Yeah, I give thanks to the owner, Judd Allison, the owner and proprietor of Toe Jam Backlot, because he's given me a canvas to paint on. But not only that, he's promoted me like heavily. You know, people come by and he tells them, he's like, oh yeah, gee whiz, here's his number. You know, so he's gotten me a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna, even though we had a disagreement back then, we're good friends.
All right, all's well that ends well. And
Yeah.
I know, you know, people in the know will certainly know you as a legend of the neighborhood. But if they don't know you, where can they find Gee Whiz online?
Well, you can go to my website, gwiz1.com, or you can go to gwiz_ONE on Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow me there.
Hey, thanks a lot for taking a minute to talk.
Thank you, man.
It's a beautiful mural, and it looks like it's gonna look pretty fresh when it's done, huh?
All right. Well, I'm hoping. Listen, you know, I've been working on it already for 3 weeks. I'm hoping that, you know, in another week or so, I'll maybe be done, maybe not.
Yeah.
Just depending. Like, this guy's hair today killed me. I was here just doing little swirls for like almost an hour. So
It's coming together.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Good to meet you.
He's like one of the old school like graph heads that like, you know, kind of like started the community here, that kind of like harnessed the culture. They've been painting here. I'm really good friends with him and a lot of his crew. And obviously that wall is like one of the longest like standing like here, and it's, you know, it's great to see that it's still riding and that he's like able to touch it up and you know, take care of it. Recently, like they had to like patch like some of the wall, and like, so that's the thing, is like a lot of the walls, like they get so many coats of like paint on here that if you started to like chip away at like some of the paint that's on here, you'll see like how thick some of the paint is. Like once we get by the 95 wall over there, you'll see like the wall, like the paint's like falling apart, but when you look at the paint, there's like, it's like a tree. There's like rings on it, and there's like so many years worth of like art that have been painted like over and over and over. And some years they have to really go through and like chip it out just so like it doesn't like outweigh on the wall. Like you'll see this like here, like you can see like the last mural that's here and everything still, like, but like you can see like layers. It's really cool.
It must be hard though, is that, well, I don't know, maybe artists who work here are prolific enough that
Yeah, like
they're happy to keep on painting new stuff. But if you had a mural here, it must be hard to see someone go over it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's business now. Like at this point, like before, it like used to be more of like a turf thing, and I would say at like this point now, it's like this wall is like a yearly wall. Like most of the writers, they'll come, they'll like they'll get their spots, you know, they'll buff the wall and everything, and people know, like everybody's pretty cool at this point, I want to say. There was like some more like discrepancies before between maybe some of the crews or the writers will cross each other out. You know, we're to the point now where like I think like everybody's like pretty good. I don't want to say everybody's great, but you know, everybody has an understanding. You know, they know.
Even the street signs are painted.
Yeah. I mean, the street signs are like a dime a dozen here. Somebody will probably come and pick that up. They'll take it home and they'll turn it into a canvas and then sell it, you know, to collector or whoever. I mean, this place is like, at this point now, is so overridden with like art. I mean, like, it's on all the fences, it's on the walls, sticker bombing everywhere. Like, we have the Montana shop that's right there. That's actually one of the main shops, like, where they sell the paint and everything. Yeah.
So, do most of the artists live here and know each other, or is it, at this point, is it a lot of
everybody's
folks from around the world?
Everybody's from like different clusters in Miami, and I think like Wynwood was like that one place where everybody knew that they could come and paint, and like it's just kind of like that place where it's accepted.
Yeah.
I want to say, because, you know, we have people from like Hialeah, like he was saying he's from South Miami, like Kendall, Westchester, which is like, that's like the far end of like 8th Street down over there. Got people from like North Miami, got people from Broward, like it's just, it's a lot of people like all coming together and just, you know, just bombing and doing a bunch of art. There used to only be one actual like art festival, which was Primary Flight, which originally kind of, I think, like opened the door during Basel time, because Basel's like just mostly like the tents with like the fine art and like, you know, people who went to school and did all that. All of them went to school for it, realistically. I think you'll find out that a lot of the background of most of these artists, like, they went to certain schools where they actually learned art first and everything like that. A lot of out-of-towners, like everybody knows when they come here, this is the one spot that they want to hit. They'll see if they can grab a wall, speak to the owners, whoever. They'll just get up, you know, and do their thing and like make like some really nice like artwork. But definitely during Art Basel every year, there's like lots more mini festivals now where you'll see like they'll get a whole nice space. They'll have the writers come in, the artists come in, everybody will do their murals. They'll do, or like we'll do shows, whatever it is, you know, like it's just, it's become such a big, like a more like cohesive scene than it was like in the past, from what I've seen and what I've photographed. So
when is Art Basel?
Art Basel is, I want to say, like the first week of December every year. So everybody will come here. It'll take over South Beach. It'll take over here, downtown, Little Haiti area in Allapattah, like wherever we have like galleries, or people will just literally rent out a space for the week and, you know, invite people and create like a gallery space for people to show their work. And it's definitely, I'd say it's definitely like a great time for people to be here, because that's when obviously like the collectors like to spend the most too. 100 Luckies right there. That's like one of our good spots. It's got like a whole Asian like cafeteria like inside, all that stuff. They have their record store and they play live music there. That's probably one of the longer running spots now. La Sandwichery, which is like a very like go-to cool like sandwich spot here.
I mean, this is just in the first couple of blocks. This is probably the most colorful neighborhood that I've ever walked through.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you could maybe like draw a comparison to is like something in like Williamsburg, like when they were like really first like turning it into like that hipster village that it was and everything. But I mean, there's only maybe like even like a couple blocks in like Cali or stuff that are like this. I mean, we get people doing like high-rise murals and everything. You can see like people from California. We have like Retina. Retina's piece has been there probably like a little bit since the beginning with the MSG and the Atomic. There used to be a gallery there. It's gone now. I haven't even seen that. It's been like a week.
So things do change quick here?
Very fast. Yeah, you'll see like a lot of the property, like most of like what's owned here in Wynwood is owned by Mana. It's a gentleman by the name of Moish. There used to be a lot more like Goldman Sachs ownership. It seems like that they've bought out like a few more properties. So that was actually the person that Jadina was talking to you about before, that they went to do like the whole meeting like about what's going on downtown and how they're trying to like preserve it and like do the best they can with like the architecture and the buildings. It's kind of like the same thing here, but this is going to turn more into like a very, I even said it's going to be upscale. Because this used to be very like grunge. There was a lot more homeless here. Everything was run down. A lot of like just warehouses, abandoned spots that were like cool to like hang out and do like either rent it out through art studios or like other galleries, painting.
Do people live here or mostly work here and make art here and just be tourists here, or are there a lot of residents as well?
I'd say there's going to be more residents here soon. They're starting to build more like high-rise like living here to the point where people will be able to stay. If anything, more in like the residing areas around here, like Allapattah might make more sense, or if you go like a little bit further to Little Haiti and North Miami North. But yeah, here is more of like, I'd say like more like tech people living around here. maybe some people that like work or like own like some of the businesses between here and or like corporate, more like hedge funds and stuff that they might like want to stay in a cooler neighborhood than Brickell.
But a lot of the foot traffic here during the daytime is tourists visiting, seeing the art on the walls.
Yeah, it's a very, like, at this point now, it's a very touristy area to the point where there was like no foot traffic before. So now this is like one of like the more like original spots, Panther Coffee, since 2010.
Yep.
And then Koyo kind of came along a little bit afterwards with that.
Koyo Taco?
Yeah, Koyo Taco came on a little bit after that. And then if you look down the block right there, Gramps used to be there, but they literally just ended up selling their property and closed out over the new year, which I think they were like the longest running like bar that was still here in Wynwood. So
what are the locals saying about the loss of that bar?
Oh, I mean, that was like a huge, it's like very prideful for like having like small local acts like come in, even like big acts come in and still play DJ sets or whatever it is, just affordable drinks, like stuff that like keeps like the neighborhood together in that sense. Come down this next block over here.
Wow, look at that.
This has been built with like over the past 3 years, like beautiful installations and everything coming in from different artists. This is like the main block, like right here. Really, if you come here like during like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and something's going on, everybody will be here on this. It's kind of like almost like our new like Ocean Drive in a way without the ocean.
So what block is this?
So this is Northwest 2nd Ave right here. North Miami Ave is like right up there, and then back over this way, which we're gonna go like right now, is just kind of like off the block in the cut, like a little bit, just like some of the other good like areas and like pockets that have like different stuff, like Museum of Graffiti. What is it? Billionaire Boys Club, like a couple other like Joe's Pizzas right here, which is actually famous from like up in New York. They opened up a couple spots here, and the one in Wynwood's right over here.
How long have you been documenting this neighborhood?
I've been coming down here for like about 20 years now. I know I have stuff from like about 05, 06, when this was still kind of like the warehouse district, like how G was talking about. Like he was saying that it was like a Puerto Rican neighborhood. People used to live in the area. They used to own like the clothing shops, the fashion shops as we called it, because this was like the fashion district, even though it was like kind of like best way to put it is like off-brand, like off-market, like type of clothing and shoes and all of that. But yeah, it's just none of this was here. This was all warehouses. Now it's all like high-rise. I mean, obviously it's beautiful with the murals and everything like that, and like people being able to paint and do their thing. But none of this was anywhere close to what it was. Like even like the Wynwood walls that's like right here, that was like free and open to the public before. Now it's like a closed off like event space. Still like the same like muralists and artists that like were like in there before, like still most of them still work in there. They have gallery space within, but yeah, now it's more of like a tour thing, which, you know, still ranks high up there in like things to do when you come in.
Obviously you love photography. Have you been doing it that long? What made you want to start doing it in 2005, 2006? Or what brought you to this neighborhood? Was stuff already happening that you wanted to document?
Yeah, I mean, there was, you know, like I said, there was the 95 wall, which we'll go past by down over here with the RC coal plant, which was like, it was like the original graffiti spot down here where people were allowed to paint, and it just kind of started drawing people to the neighborhood. And then slowly with Primary Flight, they started taking a couple more blocks, and then after a while, like everything just exploded. All of the businesses wanted a mural. You know, other people wanted other art, like installations, like whichever it is. And now we're getting to the point where we're building high rises. People are doing like ginormous side of the building murals and, you know, drop downs and everything.
Yeah.
So this is
So there's the
pizza.
Joe's, yes.
It's actually
my
really
favorite
good.
pizza in New York.
Yeah.
This design is inspired by Maradona and all the champions of the World Cup of the '86, and also it's going to be a brand of wine that they are promoting this to fundraise to help the champions. I'm inspired by Argentinian colors, the flag, the sun, and also it's going to be the Estadio Azteca, that is the place where the final took place in '86. This is my first mural here, so so far so good so far.
Yeah, it looks great. How long will this one take?
I had to finish like in 5 days. My work is mostly on different kind of surface, like balls, boots, any sports equipment. I paint for Messi, Ronaldinho, like many others athletes and around many sports, and that's what I do mostly. So my name is Lily Cantero, and people can find me online on Lily Cantero Art.
One of the local neighborhood car shops that I think is like survived like the test of time. They work on a lot of cars like right here, very exclusive stuff. It's really nice actually. They even got some of my good Miami Vice like little nostalgia in there too.
Well, I want to harp a little bit more on 8 years.
38 years. And what's the name of the shop?
Miami Auto Art. It was like a very industrial neighborhood of shoes. This was a big furniture factory that was across the street. There was a ornamental iron place there. There was a shoe warehouse next to me. There was a used clothing place next to me on this side. So this is all, it's all crazy. 2009, Art Basel started coming into the area and everything started changing. Well, actually the Goldman family from New York started buying up stuff and bought up everything they could get their hands on until, people got a clue as to what was happening, and then everybody else started buying. So now we have all this new buildings and all this traffic and all these cars and no street lights, so it's crazy.
Are there any surviving factories or the kind of the original spots, or is your place 38 years pretty much the oldest one still standing?
I think I am the last man standing. But the reason why this all became what it is gone. Because this is all about the murals. Everything here started because of the art and the murals and everything else, and now there's no walls to paint on. So now it's all stores and stores and stores. So you could say the urbanness is gone. Now it's going to be a little Manhattan in no time. So now the first generation of developers have kind of finished. Now the second generation will come in and finish it off.
Auto art.
Yeah,
So
art.
were you an artist before working on cars?
So I consider myself an artist because we bring back cars that are part of history, and you have to be an artisan to do that. So, and on top of the fact that we've done artwork on cars, we did the Wynwood police car. I've done work for Brito. I've done work for Peter Tunney. I've done work for many artists. So I do a lot of stuff that's not really car related. So even on my business card it says automotive artist, not mechanic, body man, painter, none of that, just automotive artist. Because we do all kinds of stuff. 1958 Triumph, 64 Porsche, all that mess there. So it's like, we consider ourselves artists. We're the last man standing, pretty much. There's nobody else. There was one other shop around the corner, and they're gone. Last year they had to go because it wasn't their property and it just got too expensive.
We talked to the right guy. Hey Juan, it's great to meet you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right.
Taco spot. Ted's Burgers is right on the other side of over here. We'll get there in a second. So this is the Museum of Graffiti here. Art of Hip Hop, like all of that. It's one of a kind. It was actually just had an article written about it that it was one of the top 25 museums in America. Obviously there's nothing else like it, so it's really cool to have this and like the history, constant lessons, artists coming in to showcase their work during Basel's, like a whole big part here.
So when you see really finished, beautiful pieces of work, they're getting hired by the company to put these
you'll
up?
see, like they'll come out, they'll get the grants, they'll give the artist the money, and they'll give them the canvas to do it. I mean, the Amazing Ski passed away recently. That was like a giant mural that he did here in partnership with like this building, and I mean it's wrapped with like beautiful work that artists will come. There's a lot more artists that are starting to hit downtown too now, doing these huge high-rise murals that are just ginormous. I mean, really phenomenal work. Like you can't. I mean, there's other places in the world where they do stuff like this, but not on this scale. And
Is there a big network of photographers documenting this stuff, or are you one of the few out here?
I think like all the different crews or like artists themselves, that'll usually be budgeted into the projects. Or there's people just like me that I love to do what I do, and I've just been coming around for like the longest time, just trying to document and create like a history of all this, because at the end of the day, like everybody takes pictures here, but nobody's coming down here and professionally documenting it, minus like a couple people along with myself, and doing it consistently too. Because, you know, like we said, everything changes so fast. Like, I didn't even notice that they knocked down that gallery yet, and it's probably been a little bit, but you know, there's so much like depth to this place that, you know, you'll see like even like the Wynwood garage here, like that's got like a really nice workspace up top. The Walt Gracie here with the guitars, I mean, it's really nice, fancy old school Porsches and guitars and Gibson and like all that in there. Really cool.
So cool.
This is like one of the big streetwear brands here. This bakery's actually been here for a little bit as well too, along with the Stripe building down there, which is like a whole, all offices, stores, little smaller pockets like tucked in. Bakery has lasted like a little bit, like kind of the test of time some. But yeah, Billionaire Boys Club. Amazing.
So what do you think this neighborhood will look like, say, 5 years from now? Will any of these pieces that we see here now still be here?
Unlikely. I think you'll see a lot of changes in like the composition of the buildings. You know, obviously knocking down, building up, changing like the fronts of everything. This is the Museum of Graffiti right here.
Right.
Really cool little spot to come in. History, just like all over from New York, all over the world, here in Miami, for a lot of really great events. And then right next after this is the Wynwood Walls, which I was telling you now. It used to be open to the public, but it's more like a closed off experience. A lot of the local artists, pretty much majority of them all here from Miami, they come in, they'll paint new installations and art.
How much do they charge to come into Wynwood Walls these days?
Good question.
$10?
I thought it was like 20.
Oh, I
It's
mean,
maybe during the night.
I just remember it used to be free.
Yeah, Ron English's Baby Hope there. You got Obey Giant, some of his work. Who else do we got? Not sure on everybody else. But yeah, there's like a whole subway car in there. I don't know if you can catch that over there on the left-hand side behind the Dream stop sign there. But a bunch of walls in here that have been riding for years. Like I said, there's a really cool little gift shop. Got Kenny Sharp over here on this side. These are all like all the legends of like the street art scene. You know, a lot of the artists here are really big guys. They're worldwide, and it's cool to like see them like all in like one spot. The artists will get paid to come in, do that, and do their thing, and then they'll just charge, and then they'll kind of like redo it after a while.
Yeah.
You know. So that's just keeps it fresh for, you know, if people want to come and revisit, then they'll come back to something different, which is, you know, it's okay.
How many blocks is Wynwood, or where you see the art?
You saw like where we started off, just like a little bit back. I want to say like closer to, what would you say that is, like 22nd or 20th?
I think 20th.
So
I would
like,
say 20th.
like around 20th till like just like one more block over this way, really. This is when you're starting to get it more into like Midtown over here. As much as like this is supposed to be like all like Wynwood here, like we're getting more of like a closer to like Design District and like Midtown type of like buildings coming in, just because.
Yeah, I feel like once you hit 29, that's like the end of what I think.
Yeah, I mean once you get to the street light up there, that's it really.
That's 29. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like good like what, like 7 or 8 blocks.
Yeah.
7 or 8 blocks of glory, and then it just all kind of dies. This all right here across the street used to be like a place called Smorgasbord, where they had all the food trucks, food tents, and everybody used to come together during the weekends.
Smorgasbord.
Yeah, they
canceled. They stopped what, like a month or two? No, maybe like 2 months ago or something.
Yeah.
I mean, all the dates that you're giving are like last week or a couple weeks ago or 2 months ago. There's change constantly.
Like right now, there's like just more of like a huge rush of change than ever. So like this wall here, for instance, like this wall just got redone this last year during Basel, but the wall had originally been done by like a bunch of Brazilian graffiti artists and crews that they had like multiple pieces all kind of squeezed in on like this one wall. And now Cryptic came here. I mean, obviously this is beautiful, love it. They changed the lights out here. This has been like, this restaurant has changed itself even like over time, but it's a really beautiful piece of work that like people get to see now. That's why I say there's some places where the change is good and it's necessary and needed. But you know, like I said, you can come back like 3 months from now and a month from now, a week.
It's all different.
Yeah, so there's like a couple more store spots. Obviously, this whole building right here is like brand new. That's been built within like the last like 6 months, I want to say. Because during Basel time, it was still like under construction. Like I think on the far end of that building was where they were doing like drop downs with graffiti and everything, and now it's kind of polished and almost done. Maybe it is. I mean, it might actually be done. Looks done.
I mean, it seems like a story of this neighborhood is as much real estate as it is art.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is a place where I bet a lot of speculation has taken place
Absolutely.
and
Like,
developed.
even with like the future of it and whether like the owners of certain spots are going to hold out and try to keep like the validity of like the neighborhood like true. To, like still being like an art district and not just being like a Manhattan. That was like one of like the original like OG like local bars like right here that we all used to hang out at. Whole little back spot where they're actually building into right now was like a whole lot of like grass, benches, like great parties. It was just like a very like open, free space, and it was very flat here before, like with all the warehouses and like when it was like the fashion district, like all the buildings were pretty much like about like this here, just warehouse style. Not much else going on. There was nothing like above like 4 floors. Everything was different.
There's a good number of tall buildings nearby these days.
Yeah, I mean, even with the influence from like downtown, like leaking over here, it's like, people are trying to see what else they can squeeze in and fit in and do that's gonna help their pockets out.
All right, where to?
We're gonna head back.
Wow, that is a huge mural.
Yeah, it's amazing. That's from Mac. He does like these like beautiful portraits like this where you can see like the lines and the grooves and the pieces from him. He usually works with the other guy, Mac, and Retina. The Retina was the guy that did like the hieroglyphics like on the other side there, like where we first saw in the Wynwood lofts.
It says available vacant lot.
Yeah.
So I wonder what this is.
Nobody's been parking in here or doing anything with it. It has been vacant for a good minute now.
But soon to be condos, you think?
Probably. I don't know. It might be another restaurant. Who knows what they're gonna put here?
As an old hip hop fan, you had mentioned Martha Cooper.
Yeah.
Has her?
She's here every year. She's super cool. She just comes. She walks all the blocks. She does everything all by foot. Just no excuses.
I wonder how old she is now.
That would be good to look up. But she acts like she's still in her 20s, man. Like when she's originally covering the scene in New York, and everybody loves her. She's she's the godmother for like graffiti and like setting like a precedent for like for us like what we want to capture like here or anywhere else, and just making sure that there's a history of the scene. This is one of our local burger establishment, Ted's Burgers. Yeah, super cool spot. Used to do a lot of pop-ups before between different places and breweries, and now they got their own brick and mortar.
It is a vibrant neighborhood.
So now we're gonna start to get to the part where you'll see there's gonna be a little bit more of like a switch away from like all of like the posh like luxury here that they're starting to work on, and like we're gonna get back more to like the actual like fashion district, like grit, grime, like what used to be the old neighborhood or what's like left before they start working on this too.
The sun's gone down. It's slightly cooler, but it's been an 80-degree day. It's been nice.
Oh yeah. No, today was like a perfect day. You got a really nice sunset right now going on. Yeah, it's a nice chill night.
A random sidewalk in Wynwood, and it's just a gallery.
Everything is fair game here.
Everything.
Yeah, a lot of buddies from the MSG crew here. Miami style graffiti.
Yeah, who are the legends of the Miami graffiti scene?
There's a lot of crews that have been around for 30 or 40 years. There's a lot of old school crews like 7 Up, AIM, FA, Damn Crew. G-Wiz is a part of the Damn Crew with a bunch of the guys that I know that are cool. MSG's been around forever. Crook and Chrome, like even like our like pretty much in like one of our like main like more new crews like 004. All those writers have been around for a long time, since like pretty much I started too. So everybody's got a history. There's even like the newer people, like they're starting to like mesh in and create a name for themselves, but mostly like now like our 004 guys, they do it like the biggest, but there's a lot of mix in from the crews that are like in that crew. giant like MSG like crew mural that they painted here with like majority of like all like the crew has like a little like sliver slit like up in this mural here. Really dope.
So we're in the middle of a construction site and living art gallery.
Graffiti and other walls that have been painted in here over time. It's all just like crumbles into dust now.
Yeah. Some of these walls are still standing.
So this whole area right here is where they do the 3 Points Festival with like a lot of local or like new up and coming like musical talents. DJs, everything. It'll be a crazy festival. They use a couple other parts and lots here around Wynwood too, so it's really nice. But this is owned by Mana.
I actually think this is one of the most beautiful blocks, just because it's just huge walls on both sides and quiet.
Yeah.
And then there's no development on this.
That's why I said this is where like it kind of differentiates from like that street right there when you go down this way, or from like over here. This is like, so like right down over this way on the other side of this whole lot was where the projects used to be. Like low income housing, everything. This is where, you know, first 48 on like A&E, like Miami, it was all that area always. The cops would probably continuously be patrolling this area and they would tell us not to walk in this area with like my camera or with you with that, her walking around by herself. Like you couldn't do that. You'll see like this wall, it'll wrap all the way around in front. The main crews and the main pieces are on the front side there. There's mechs, there's some of the FBA guys, M6 and Cure, and like the whole True Elements crew. I think there's an MSG there, but Dam has like a big piece over there as well. A lot of them have turned into RIP pieces. There's a lot of artists that have passed away over the past few years, so you'll see a lot more in memoriam. Like even right down here, there's another piece for one of the original like writers from here, Boyles. He was from one of the OG crews, like passed away. They redo it every year. This is like the real heart of the Wynwood. It's still grungy. It's still very like true to, you know, like the art and the hip hop and the graffiti scene. And you know, I think it'll put up a good fight for as long as it can and like trying to stay here. So this is like the OG of like Miami graffiti that still remains. That's been here since the Altoid wall.
It was the RC Cola factory, and so it was I don't know how many stories, but a taller building that you said slowly kind of went away.
It was pretty much here, but just the build out inside with the offices was still there. I could still go up the steps into the offices, which was gutted. It was just like abandoned at that point. But I think in the late or early 90s was when it originally shut down and it became abandoned. And this whole outside wall that wraps around here, like closest to 95 here in Miami, we'll walk over this way so you can see it. But every year everybody gets together, usually the same spots on the wall, and like everybody gets together and paints. Some people will be able to get inside to paint some. But yeah, it's just like, it's a really cool thing because you'll be driving, you'll be stuck in traffic, and you get to watch people like making art, you know, and like the nice graffiti murals from this side over here.
So what highway is this?
So this is 95. This is like the main highway of like the East Coast right here. But this is our part that like runs through Miami, and it's really beautiful. It's probably like one of the best drives during the nighttime when you see the whole entire skyline for all of downtown Brickell area when you're going this way down towards US 1, which is like south there towards Key Biscayne and everything. So these are some of like the OG Miami writers. This is Sinner right here. He's like one of Miami's probably one of Miami's cleanest writers, I'll say for sure. Been writing for a good minute. I love to still catch his pieces. Great guy. This is Mex.
Is that from the Biggie Smalls album?
Yep. Yeah, the Nas little piece was like right over there. So this is like one of the original crews like down here from like FCFA, like MSG all got a part of this piece. One of our friends passed away over the past year, like more recently than anything. Seam, aka Arrive, like what she painted now, but he was like one of the founding people that came down from New York and was like part of the scene down here, along with the writers from these crews. VL5 crew, you can see there, that's like really cool. It's WH. But it's like a massive tribute to him here, because he used to DJ for like a lot of our events and everything else too.
Wow, this is quite a tribute.
So this one's actually really special for me. This is actually one of my friends that passed away, part of the FTC crew, BGSK, like MZK, MIC, all that. He passed away actually on my birthday last year. Unfortunate. This picture that they used for this mural was actually my picture that I took that night.
Really?
It was the last picture that I got of him, just kind of like canvassing like himself as a person. Like, this is who he was. That was the style. That was the culture. And I just thought it was such a great portrait. And I was beyond honored that, you know, his mother chose it. All of his friends chose it. They still continue. It's up. It's actually framed and up in a few of the galleries that we have down here. It's an honor, like when, like, you know, your friends and like people that you've been shooting for years, like, will be able to use something, you know, that's near and dear to them if something like that happens, I guess. So this is True Elements crew. They're one of the old schools. They used to do a lot of jams down here in some of the lots, like back up over that way before, where you saw that Dusto piece that was like on the signs. That used to be like a whole lot in there where all the crews would kind of paint on the inside like how they did here. But they used to have their own like whole big jam and everything too. So you got Cure and M6. This is probably like one of the more cool and iconic pieces that you would be able to see from the highway. Because the way they painted it, it looks like a giant boombox, like a ghetto blaster, just like posted up. It's awesome. I love it. Got the knobs. We even got the lights working still. Where some of the newer, like out of town artists are doing some great pieces. Some locals too.
Wow. Wonder how long it takes to do one of these pieces.
They'll spend like about a week and a half.
That's it.
Some might get them done like within a few days, to be honest. Because some people do paint a little bit faster, but overall it's taking like at least like a week.
I would have thought it would have been months. So you've been doing street photography for a couple decades.
Yeah.
And you've covered this neighborhood and other parts of a constantly changing Miami. If people want to find your work, where can they find you online?
If you look online at The Real Miami Vice on Instagram, you'll find most of my body of work there. If you're getting married, then you can go on my professional profile that's there in my bio, TRMV photo, The Real Miami Vice abbreviated. TRMV. But yeah, for all the cool stuff, The Real Miami Vice. Yeah, just out here documenting whatever I can, along with everybody else that's trying to do a little bit themselves.
Yeah. Thank you, Tony. Yeah. I know that of the different neighborhoods that I'm checking out in Miami, this is one that is probably the most photographed and where I won't have the most original insights about the neighborhood. But I will say that had I not been with Tony to understand a little better the history of manufacturing and warehouses, fast forward to the present day, the art scene, and the development pressures on the neighborhood, and have a chance to talk to some of the locals from way back and today, I would have not have gotten such a complete picture. So thank you again, Tony and Judina, for walking me around Wynwood and other parts of Miami. I can't wait to get back here soon. Chris Talks to People. We will see you in the next one.